Hi, this is Morgan, and we're going to be playing a little bit more SkyFactory2. So I've done a little more off-camera stuff. Let me get out of F5 mode. Let me show you what's in my chest here. I collected quite a bit of wood, some string, quite a bit of dirt, and we're going to steal some of that now. And we're going to get rid of some of these crooks here. Although I do want to show you something that I noticed. So let's get a few more few more pieces of oak. One thing I noticed, and I've been using vein miner using the crook. Vein miner, very nice. It does increase your drop rate on items, and you can use it on the wood, and that's what I had been doing. And it does knock down the whole tree. Let's go ahead and use it. It's a big tree. Let's use it on this tree. And what I noticed was I don't have to use a crook to use vein miner on these saplings. I can use a sapling itself and it will work just the same, which is fantastic. So I think that's kind of cheaty, but it does work, and it is what it is. I don't know if it's a bug or I certainly don't think it's by design, but at any rate, that's kind of what I've been doing. It does save a little bit of time having to rebuild crooks every 5 minutes. But, it is pretty cool. So anyway, let's drop off some of this stuff because we won't need it for what we're doing today. Instead, what we're going to be doing is expanding our little platform here. I want to bring out another 3 levels out here, or three more blocks. I'm also going to be creating some cobblestone. I'm going to be doing some Tinker's Construct setup. That's why we're really expanding this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and turn some of these into planks. Or slabs, or whatever you want to call them. So let's crouch a little bit. Build this out. 1, 2, 3. And hopefully this doesn't take too long, but I really just want to get enough room just so that I can set up the necessary Tinker's things without too much trouble. So but we got quite a bit of work to do, so it should be good. Some fun stuff to do here. All right, let's pick up these extra saplings because you can never have enough. Let's break this little slab here. I'm not really too interested in keeping them. If we had lost them, it would have been no big deal. Another thing we want to do is we want to build a few more water collection points. So I guess I could do that now since I've already got the slabs and I've already got some wood. So let's build 3 more. I don't think it's going to rain right now, but we might get lucky. So let's go ahead and put these down now. And next thing we want to do is get our achievement book and some of the stones we've got. We won't need the slabs right away. We'll just need a few things like this. Actually, I take that back. We will need 6 slabs. because we're going to want to come back out here about 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want to lay down 6 slabs. Now the next thing we want to do is start sifting some of our dirt that we've got. Ideally we'd like to get about, well, we need to turn it really all into cobblestones or little stones, which we can then turn into stone by putting them for, a 2x2 in the grid. We'll get random seeds and other junk by sifting dirt, so anything extra we get is just a bonus at this point. Not quite sure what seed that is down at there at the bottom in the 4 slot, but I guess we'll take a quick peek once we get through all this dirt. So I had been using Audacity for my audio commentary, and the problem is it was causing, I'm not exactly sure why, but it was kind of forcing things out of sync, and maybe it was because I had 2 audio files trying to compete against the other to write buffers out to disk. So I've switched just to Bandicam using their unrecommended way to record both commentary and sound. So it seems to be working a little bit better, which is good. We'll see if we can get through this recording. This is about the 6th one I've tried. So we'll just see how it goes. An acacia seed, that's nice. Some seeds, melon seeds will be good. And some sugar canes, that's nice. So let's go ahead and turn all of this into stone. Or in a cobblestone. And the next thing we want to do is build a wooden hammer. And we're going to need a couple more sticks for our Tinker's Construct stuff, which we can build now. So we're going to need some blank patterns. Just get a few of them. And we're going to build all the Tinker's utilities here. So we're going to turn this crafting table into a crafting station. We're going to create a stencil table, which will give us a couple Tinker's books. We'll next make a chest and put a pattern on top of that to get a pattern chest. I think next is the log with a pattern, which will give us a part builder. Let's get that out of the way for now. And the last thing we need to do is create a crafting table, put a blank pattern on top of that to get a tool station. And so what I typically do, the way I lay these out usually, is I put the crafting station, the stencil table, the pattern chest, the part builder, and then the tool station. And the tool station will upgrade to a tool forge at some point once we hit the Iron Age. That'll allow us to work with metal tools. Right now I think we can use the tool station to use or to create wood, flint, and bone type of tools. But that's a good starting point, and we'll need those for some of our achievements anyway. So next what we want to do is get our hammer out and some of our cobble. And we're going to lay down 3 pieces of cobble. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to hammer these. And we're going to turn them into gravel. Once we get our 3 pieces of gravel, we're going to lay down 2 of those and turn those into sand. And once we get those, we're going to turn 1 piece of sand into dust. And I'll pick up 1 more sapling over there. Because the next thing we want to do with these is sift them, because that's one of our achievements. So we're going to sift the gravel, not expecting to get anything out of either any of these items, but it's just a process of doing. And we're going to automate this, not only the creation of, cobble, sand, gravel, all that stuff. But, you know, at any rate, you know, we're gonna be automating quite a bit of this stuff, but right now it's really just all manual. The next thing we're gonna want to do is, we've done that. We are going to need 2 pieces of clay. And to get those pieces of clay, we need to turn cobble into gravel, gravel into sand, and sand into dust. And then we're going to go all the way over here and stick our dust into the water. And that gives us 2 pieces of clay, which we can break down. Now we do need to make a crucible. Unfortunately, we don't have all the dust to make the bone meal we'll need. And as a matter of fact, if we look at NEI and we look at a sieve, if we push U on that, it'll show us the different things you can make, or the resources you can gather from sifting those items. Certainly we do need the flint. So the next thing we're going to do now that we've got some clay is we're going to sift the rest of, or we're going to turn the rest of our cobble into gravel and hopefully get some flint out of it. And then ultimately we're going to need 7 pieces of bone meal, and that's a 20% drop on dust. So that probably won't happen this round. I imagine it's going to take most of our remaining cobble just to get to the flint that we need. So the only thing we can really do at this point, well actually there's one more thing we would like to do at this point, and that is to make a slab furnace. And the nice thing is we can turn these half slabs back into cobble, so there's no waste there. And this is why we wanted the 6 pieces here, so we can just stick that there. So I think the next thing to do, or one thing we can do here real quick, is make an unfired clay bucket. We'll just come over here, stick that in there with a, yeah, I think it, is it just 1 piece of wood? I think so. And what this will give us is a fired clay bucket. And the nice thing about the fired clay bucket is once we have some more water collected, we can then pick up the water and it won't consume the clay bucket. Once we start making lava with a crucible, which is why we need the bone meal and the remaining dust or clay, then we can make a crucible and we'll have to fire that and we can create lava. Then we'll start the whole Stone Age thing where we build our cobble generator and things like that. Let me have a quick couple of apples. And then we'll start breaking down the remainders of our cobblestone. And we're really just turning this into gravel with the hope of getting a couple pieces of flint. I'd like to make a mattock so that I can eventually, the next time I get some water, start doing some farming. I think I've got a seed or 2, and I think I've got a melon seed in there. So hoping we can at least get some form of food. I'm kind of sick of eating apples. They get kind of boring after a while. Food Plus is one of the mods installed in here, and you can do some different things with apples. I think you make like caramel apples or candied apples or something like that. But for right now, I just getting into creating watermelon or potatoes, which is another thing we can get, or carrots. That'll still be something good. So let's start sifting this gravel and see what we get. And I'm going to move some of these up. I'd really like to see if we get a, once we start seeing flint, that'll make me happy. And if we don't get any flint, it's no big deal. We've got plenty more stone, you know, or at least plenty more dirt that we can use to get create stone and break that back down. So if we don't get it this time, it's no big deal. We'll work on it towards next time. We got one at least. That's good. We can at least make an axe with that. So let's go over here to our stencil table. We'll drop these in, create an axe head. Come over here. We will need a stick. So we'll create some sticks here. Get over here to our tool station and pick an axe. And we've made our first flint tool. So let's take a look at our achievement book so far. What we've done so far is we did craft some cobblestone from the small stones by sifting dirt. We made some gravel, some sand, and some dust, and we've sifted each of those. We did make the Tinker's construct tools from flint. And we did make clay by putting some dust into a barrel filled with water. So we're pretty good. Again, next, what we need to do is start stockpiling some of the dust, start stockpiling some water, and get a, hopefully, I think in this mod pack we can create an infinite water source. Some mod packs disable that functionality. I guess we'll have to find that out ourselves. But then once we get enough dust, we can create the bone meal, which we can then use on the clay pieces to turn into porcelain clay. We can fire that. It's kind of an upside down pants thing. And we can fire that, make a crucible, and then we can start putting some cobblestone in that fired crucible to make lava. And then we can build our cobblestone generator. So that's going to do it for us today. I'll probably do a little bit, again, a little bit more offline grinding so that we can get some more dirt. We still have 25 left, but I'd kind of like a little bit more. Also, I'm hoping it rains again soon because all of our water buckets are empty. So we're going to need some water. We're going to need some more dirt. We're going to need some more cobble, and we're going to need some dust. And pretty soon, hopefully, we'll be able to start really automating some of these processes so that we don't have to do as much grindy work offline. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you for watching. Again, this is Morgan, and leave me a like or a comment. I'm always interested in hearing what people think and say. Even the bad ones. And I'll try to keep going at this as far as I can. There's quite a few mods on here that I really have not played around with at all. So some of this I'll just be learning on camera, and we'll just see how it goes. Thanks again.